Bro, LinkedIn is like for serious people though.
There's that feeling of importance that people want to have on
Right.
LinkedIn. So people actually pay to be awarded. Yeah, that's how important they want to feel. And then they
Please,
show
can you
it.
give me the phone number of that person?
Oh,
I need an award.
there are people we call awardpreneurs, right? Because they're in the business of giving you awards.
I'm actually
wow.
I've struggled with confidence all my life. Hello. Welcome.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
This is HM Shima TV with Maya.
And Anu. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, and we are excited to welcome you today to this segment we've called Off Topic. Why Off Topic, Anu? Why?
Well, because we talk about things we usually avoid, especially in church, topics that are off.
Yes, but also even in every conversation,
Yeah.
the off-topic topics are more authentic.
Yeah.
They're more
natural.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly, more natural.
Yeah.
Sometimes the topic is like you prepared to say this and then, but the off-topic ones are like unscripted and fun.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we are going to have a great time today exploring
Absolutely.
topics that are very interesting, and hopefully you guys will get something at the end of the day. But before that, we want to share who we are. Okay, so my name is Maya, and my full names are actually Mayake Ineza Lambert Matasi Nzeyimana. All those names are mine. And I am Burundian. I live in Rwanda and Kigali. If you're not in Kigali, I'm living in Kigali. And I am partly Burundian, like I mentioned. I am married. I have a daughter, and I also am an educator, a teacher, and an education consultant. So, yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Okay. My name is Anu Oluwa. My full name is Anu Oluwaseun Adepoju. I'm Nigerian. I have been in Kigali for 5.5 years. Happily married to the best guy. Yeah. I lead growth, marketing at an edtech. And yeah, having fun, loving God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, we want to play some fun games first before we start.
Okay.
But I get to ask you one question, and you get to ask me one question.
All
right. So, what is one thing you can tell us about your culture that would shock everyone, like your tribe or your culture, something that you guys do?
Wow. Okay. Okay, I didn't see that coming. All right. I'm Yoruba, right? It's a tribe in Nigeria. Do you want something we still do or something we used to do?
Yeah, shock us, whichever. It's fine.
Okay. I think one of the things that shocked me, when I heard about it or when I saw it, was the fact that the tribal marks,
yes,
the tribal marks were actually seen as beauty marks, right? And they can be, like, you see some people, it's like the entire face, here, down, and it was literally seen as beauty marks. So of course it's not a tradition that is in
it's no longer practiced now.
No, not really. Still, some do, but it's not as popular as before. But it's shocking.
Yeah,
actually.
I've always wondered, like, the tribal marks. Like, I feel I don't know, they just look very shocking, surprising.
Shocking is the word.
Yes. I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, your turn to ask a question.
Okay. So what is the most popular misconception that you think people have about you?
That I'm very confident. I've struggled with confidence all my life.
Okay.
And for people who know me, they know that singing on stage and getting on stage is very scary, that I get sick every single time.
Wow. So
Yeah.
I'm part of the people who have misconceptions.
Everybody says, "Oh, she's so confident." Let me tell you, prior to getting on stage and starting to sing, I go through a lot behind. But once I just start singing,
Right.
I don't know, something else just happens.
You mean like every single time?
Every single time. Like, I have been singing leading
Wow.
worship for many years, but every time I'm about to get on stage, I'm terrified. I'm sick in my stomach. I'm panicking, but I have no choice. I'm like, we're doing this.
Wow.
And then somehow we just do it.
That's news for me.
Yeah. So it's never been easy, and it's never... Actually, now I'm glad, because I think with worship, you never have to get used to it. So it keeps me humble.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I would have never thought. It feels like you're like, where's the mic? Let's go. That's what it looks like. Wow.
Like, sing. Yes.
Yes.
And one of the hardest things you can ask me to do is just sing spontaneously without preparing me.
Really?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Every song I know disappears. I don't even know Alpha and Omega. I don't know how great is... Like, nothing. There's no song in my head.
It
so
just
it's
goes...
and I think a lot of singers can relate to that.
Definitely.
Yeah, being put on the spot is very hard.
Yeah.
So pastors out there, please
help us.
Help us. Don't start asking us for random songs.
Help us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So,
amazing.
Anyway, still in the part of games and fun.
Okay.
We are going to test one another's ability to understand the other's language.
Okay.
So we're gonna play. You're gonna tell me 3 words, and we'll keep doing back and forth. So you tell me something that from your language, and I'll try and guess what it means. Okay, and yeah. So maybe let me start. So here's one. Imyi dondoro.
Say it again.
Imyi dondoro.
I care about you. It sounds endearing.
Imyi dondoro. In a sentence, you can say, murashobora kwidondora, or nimwidondore.
I'm confused. Okay, I'm actually confused. So, I think my best guess would be I want to do something for you.
It actually means imyidondoro is like your details, like information about you.
I was far.
So if we're starting the show, I'd say murashobora kwidondora, which is like, can you tell us about yourself?
Oh, right. Okay. Noted. Okay. Let me try. Let me do for you. I'll try and make it easy for the first one. Ẹ̀yin Olúwa lógo.
Ẹ̀yin Olúwa lógo.
Yeah.
There's Olúwa, so I hear God.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe we can say, hey, God is good.
Close? Is
Hey!
it close? Actually,
hey, God is faithful.
Okay.
Olúwa lógo. God is wonderful.
It's close, honestly, because I mean, I'm sure because you heard God, you're not thinking
like
all the
something
things
bad about God.
Exactly.
It has to be God is good.
Yeah, it's like it can mean many things, to be honest. It can be come, let's praise the Lord.
Oh.
Yeah, come, let's glorify the
Olúwa
Lord.
lógo.
So Ogo is glory, right?
Ah,
Yes,
so
let's give him.
I
Yeah,
know that one
Ogo.
from
Yeah.
Go.
Yes. Exactly. So let's give God the glory.
Let's give God the glory.
Yeah, give God the glory.
Olúwa lógo.
Yes. Give.
Okay.
Yeah, give God
All
the
right,
glory.
that's good. That's a good one. So here's a good one.
Make it easy.
Okay. Okay. Since you live in Kigali, this one should be easy for you.
Is it Kenya, Rwanda, or?
Well, this one's Kinyarwanda, because in Kirundi it means something different.
I'm gonna try.
So you can try in Kenya.
Okay.
Ndishimye.
Oh no.
In Kirundi, it means something different, but I'll tell you. But what do you think it means? Ndishim.
Wow. This is bad. Been here for how long? I don't think I've ever heard it though.
Really?
I'm not sure. It doesn't sound familiar.
Hey, like when we say like ndishimye kuba hano.
Can you give me context?
Like, without telling you the meaning.
No.
Okay, so when you're in a place,
Yeah.
you can say, when you're a visitor, you can say ndishimye kuba na namwe.
Oh, okay. Like this place is blessed or something.
Ndishimye. It's something you're talking about yourself.
Okay, I love being here. How about that? It's close.
It's close.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes.
I got it.
Kwishima is like to be happy.
Oh, wow.
But in my language, in Kirundi, it means to be proud.
Wow.
Yes.
The same word, like
The same word.
opposites.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow.
And so, but Burundians and Rwandans can understand both languages, so they don't have trouble like figuring out from context what the person means.
Happy and proud.
But if like someone was to say, "Ko wishimye," like why are you happy? Someone might also think you're saying, "Why are you so proud?"
Interesting. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Okay, let's get one more from you.
Okay, so I'm going to do pidgin this time because it's a very general language or way of talking. Where they go? That sounds easy.
Where are you going? Where did they go?
Okay, let me change it. How you day?
How you day?
How you day?
How are you?
Yeah. I feel like that was too easy.
That one I know.
You know.
How you
okay.
day? Okay.
Waiting do you?
What are you doing?
Nope. Hey, I thought that would be
Waiting
easy.
do you?
Yeah, I thought that would be easy though. Waiting do you?
Because I know waiting be this. So what is waiting do you?
What is it?
What did you do?
Nope. Wow, I'm surprised. Nope.
Really? Why did you do that?
No. Wow.
Waiting to do. Waiting?
Waiting do you?
Waiting do you?
That's like super.
Do you be you?
No. No, like you're ever going up. Should I tell you? No, try one more.
Okay. You can do it.
Now you're motivating.
Waiting do you?
Yeah, it's.
I think I don't know what is.
It's
it
like
mean?
what is wrong with you?
No way. That's not even
Waiting
close.
is like what? So like waiting be this. What is this?
Yeah.
Waiting is like waiting they soap.
Waiting do you? You said it's what again?
Waiting.
No, but what does it mean? I forgot.
What? Like waiting do you?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Like,
What's
is
wrong
wrong?
with you?
What is up?
I'll
What
use it
is-
on Fabrice next time.
Yeah.
Waiting do you?
Waiting do you?
All right, so I hope you learned a thing or two. I'm sure I did. But we'll be back for our main topics after this short break. All right, so we are back now with the off-topic topics. All right, so first thing, the first one,
Yeah.
adult friendships.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are fun, right?
Yeah.
And
Fun.
you and I are friends, so at least we can talk about it from
That perspective.
that perspective.
Yeah.
So what is so unique about adult friendships from what you've experienced so far as an adult?
Keyword being adult. Because I feel like the way friendships were when we were much younger, like teenagers,
Yeah.
the dynamics were so different. Especially because we didn't have a lot of responsibilities then, right? So adult friendship for me, what's the question again? You said
What are some of the characteristics of
Yeah,
adult
okay.
friendships for you?
I think the first will be weird. The first word will be weird, because a lot of times you're sure, then again you're not sure about someone. there are a lot of assumptions there, right? Because there isn't so much time for frequent interaction, right? So there's a lot of space for assumptions, right? So yeah, that's why I say weird. Meaningful. Yeah, very meaningful.
Yeah.
Just because, as adulting is difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole growing up, responsibilities, stuff, life happening, right? And so it's more meaningful when you have, friendship is different. So what I mean is, if you're a teenager, your friend could just be someone you play with.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe a small child. A
Yeah.
friend is like just someone you play with, you play Legos with, it's someone you go out with, have fun. But as an adult, what you want is a life companion, somebody to just be there, when stuff is going south, and someone that's just there, right?
Someone who helps you deal with like the harder things in life.
Their presence makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
So I think off the top of my head, I'll say those few things.
I also think that they are seasonal.
Oh, that's true.
Because we move, we go through different seasons in life. One person's journey takes them this way, another person takes them the other way, and like learning to be okay with those seasons. And it's like there's no breaking up, there's no there's no like we have beef and so on. I think people still do those things when you're like mothers. No, it's just like no, we don't have beef when we are.
I feel like a lot of people still see it as beef. When a season is over, and they still see it like, oh, we're fighting, or because it's a very dicey place, because many people don't see it that way.
Yeah.
That you maybe outgrow someone, or you're in a different season, or something has changed.
Do you think we're less honest as adults about, like, do we think when we're younger, or we are more straightforward and like more honest with our friends than when we're adults?
Yeah, I think we're less honest now.
Like, I have problems of my own.
Yeah.
Just
100%. I believe we're less honest. We, as an adult, right? You're more careful. You're more like, but as a child, what do you have to lose, right?
Yeah, but also like with marriage and other relationships, boundaries come in, and there's a lot of boundaries that you have to be aware of.
Actually.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. That's a weird one. There's this trend where people say once you get married, I don't know if you've heard it before. Once you get married, like your friends, they kind of just stay.
They pull away.
They pull away, right?
I don't know though why people do that, because I think personally, I had friends. I got married maybe before some of my friends, or some of them are still single.
Yeah.
And I know, yes, that has changed the dynamics of a friendship, but I never want to lose a friendship because they think I'm now married. I think that's really... A long time ago, though, mothers used to advise people to be like, if you get married, you have to stop hanging out with your single friends. I don't really think that's very nice.
It's not.
It's not nice. I don't think it is. I think it's valuable to have friends where we're in different seasons of life. How do you know that someone is your friend? Because also... Like you must have like different categories of friendships or relationships or whatnot.
Yes.
How do you tell that? What are those categories, first of all?
Yeah, that's a big one for me, because I always say, you can have a lot of friends, but there are levels, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people get hurt, because they give the wrong person or the wrong set of people the access that they shouldn't have. So you give an acquaintance, for instance, the access that your close friend should have. So for me, I have, in my head, it's like there's a core, where there's a circle, of people that I can trust with my life. Like I have them. I can trust with my life. I can tell anything. I can, 12 a.m., anything is wrong with me. I'm like, Maya, hi, I'm in trouble. 12 a.m., you need prayers.
Or Maya, let's go beat up David.
Yeah.
I'm like, where is he?
Yeah, let's go. Right? Yeah. So there are those people, and then there are people who are, not to use Bible terms, but like the outer court.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're your friends as well. Like you're cordial.
Yeah, like church mates.
Yeah.
They're not enemies.
Actually, church mates is the next layer. There are people that come,
outer,
yeah.
It's outer of the
outer. Outer of the outer. Like, people you just say hi to, your acquaintances with, right? But there are people who you know you on a personal level, but they're not close, right? So I think I'll just divide into three. Right?
Yeah,
those three.
I agree. Me, I would also add this ministry relationships.
Yeah, those can be weird.
Yeah, those are people that God brings in your life to serve.
Yeah.
To minister to. And I think in the past I've made mistakes where I have turned those into actual friendships and then developed expectations. Yeah. Which I now learned that, when Jesus was serving people, like healing, he had no expectation, like those people would would be able to like do the same for him. Right. And I think for me in the past I even got disappointed when some people, I'm like, oh man, I've been there for you. When you needed me, I was there. Like in my time of need, bro, you were nowhere to be seen. Yeah. Until I realized, wait a minute, that is a transactional relationship. I don't think I should have that. And so I went through this training called Developing Authentic Relationships. I think it's what it's called. No, okay. How authentic community. Yeah, the life-giving power of authentic community. Shout out to Rachel Ngabane or Rachel Ngabane. Wow. She's the one who runs the training, and she talked about how like we need to differentiate those friendships who were meant to just give, and those friendships who are meant to give and receive. Yeah, actually, yeah. And even then, I think as we grow, we should really minimize the expectations we have for our friendships. I think, do you know the type of people who like always make you feel like your bad friend because there's something going on and you were never there for them. And you're like, at the church. Most of the time you're like, dude, I have my own things to deal with. Like, we're at the stage in life where we're just dealing with a lot. Like you might be running a company, you might be raising kids, you might be going through a tough marriage, and then adding on top of that friends who are just dramatic, who want needy. Yeah. So you're like, like give me a break.
Yeah, I feel like there's a thin line, between having expectations as friends and being selfish. Yeah. I think one of the things that should define friendship from the get-go, your posture should be one open posture and one that wants to give, right? As opposed to receiving all the time, right? So someone that is open to so there's a balance there. So if everybody has the posture of I want to just be there for the person and all of that, if everybody has that, we're all happy at the end of the day. Yeah. Do you get? Yeah.
And what I would add, it's not about it's an that we kind of, if we do expect, which is very normal to say.
Yeah, it is.
I would want you to like, I would want to talk to you or like, like regular things that friendships should have. Yes. Because there are certain people that keep those expectations to themselves and then get hurt because the other person doesn't know. And someone once said expectation is writing a script for someone and not giving it to them. And so like you have to be, it's okay to be like really expressive about those needs because like people are dealing with a lot. And if you're going through a hard time and you need a friend to listen to you, like you can express that.
Yes.
And don't expect your friends to just guess what you need.
Communication, right?
Because again, back to like boundaries. Yeah. When we're adults, we don't want to cross boundaries. Like, okay, if she doesn't tell me, I'm not going to go and ask.
Oh, that's a dicey place.
Right?
Yeah.
If she doesn't want to share with me, I'm not going to go and poke my nose.
But what if she wants you to ask?
That's the thing. How do you know? Because most of the time, if someone doesn't want to share, you just assume they don't want to share and you want to give them the space to do that.
Assumptions.
Or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the other thing is also like feeling bad about like maybe not being included in something or not being invited to something and then just taking it really personal. I think that's another thing we have to grow out of. Like for example, if you see like there was a lunch, people met up and somehow you were the one person missing.
Yeah, I think it also borders on expectation.
Yes.
And then how close you are to those guys as well, right?
Yeah. And also think in those moments it cannot be it takes vulnerability, but it can also be okay to express what you like. Oh, I'm very surprised that like I kind of felt like not in a I think it's okay to be vulnerable and be like.
So for instance, your very close friend is celebrating her birthday, and then she doesn't invite you, and then you see the pictures everywhere and all that.
So maybe they weren't really your close friends. You thought they were. Was a one-sided relationship.
No, but what if you're sure that they're close friends? Maybe you've been friends for so many years and you're close.
You know, when we were young, we used to be like, "This is my best friend." Yes, you're my best friend. Yes,
Yeah.
and we agree.
Yeah.
In adulthood, we don't have that conversation.
No, we don't.
So you can actually be thinking someone's your close friend and realize through their actions that they're not.
Assumptions.
And I think we should read into those things and be like,
Yeah.
okay,
Right.
I get the message.
You said something about ministry relationships, right? And I mean, from my experience, I've found how sometimes ministry relationships, for instance, you feel like God is leading you to help someone through a certain season. So you maybe that's why you get close to the person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they grow into the close ones. How do you know, when this is no longer just ministry relationship, ministry colleagues, you're serving together. How do you know when you've crossed from there to an actual friendship?
I doubt if they ever cross. From my experience, I don't think they ever.
Really? So you have never had that experience?
I feel like friendships that are not ministry, like okay, even as friends, we minister to each other, right?
Yeah.
But there are those relationships where, and I've had people where I've gone, they've mentored me, for example, so which means they're pouring into me.
Yes.
And yes, and I try to be there for them. I try to minister, but I don't think they'll ever see me like someone who, yes, I can help them, I can serve them, but there's always gonna be that thing that this person is just supposed to be, so they won't have as much expectations for me as maybe vice versa. And that's why you find people complaining, hey, you abandoned me, because sometimes like you are the person who's being ministered to, so you have expectations for that person. I don't know if it makes sense. So I feel like sometimes it's very rare to find that those friendships actually evolve into something more. They usually end up in I don't know. Either that season ends and that person moves on.
Okay.
And they just I think. Have you ever experienced something different?
So totally. Most of my closest relationships were from church, like ministry.
You
but
mean
not
people you minister with, not to.
Both.
Okay.
Even people that I have a mentor figure, who we've been interacting for years, and I consider the person a friend, now, right? It didn't start that way, but now we're friends. Like they share as well, I share, and there's that dynamic. I think the element of someone that you can trust, because you have shared values, right? And you're eating from the same place, in terms of you're feeding from the same place as well. Church.
So it develops into more give and take.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Maybe you're right. I think you're right. Maybe it can develop into like that person also starts pouring into you in some way.
Yes.
Or seasons change and then they become the person.
Exactly. I think the seasons change thing is important. Yeah.
Yeah. That's very interesting. And then maybe sometimes that person can grow up if they're young. Like, how my younger sibling... Oh, actually, now that I think about it, my younger sisters, who are my two best friends on this planet, one of them is 6 years younger than me. I think the dynamic in our friendship right now is very different because she's really more like a peer now.
Yeah.
Whereas
Actually,
at some point,
the same.
She would look at me like her big sister. And I wouldn't have any expectations as far as like, she'll be there for me or what. I'll be there for her and that's it. But I think you're right.
Yeah.
People can grow up and seasons can change.
Seasons can change.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How do we maintain friendships that can last different seasons of life?
I think for me, the first thing would be not to I have a principle not to force things.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a principle not to force things.
Yeah.
Like, I think we should be very fluid when it comes to friendships and relationships. But friendships that last, there's a lot, that goes in. There's commitment. So what does commitment really mean? If you're not going to have so much expectation, what exactly does commitment mean? I mean, for me, I feel like commitment means just being honest, communicating, right?
Yeah.
Holding each other,
Yeah.
in
And communicating is so important because sometimes they die a natural death.
yes,
Because there was something I did that hurt you,
yes,
and you just never
exactly.
told me.
Yes.
And we never had that conversation.
Yes.
And then you just chose to let the relationship
So
die.
it's not just about frequency of communication.
Yeah.
Like I have friends that maybe talk 3-4 times a year, right? But those talks, hours and hours of talk and you know, after speaking to them, you feel very, energized and lifted. And so it's not too much about frequency. I think it's more about honesty.
Yeah.
And having shared values.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's good.
Yeah.
I also would add like flexibility in as the seasons change. Giving people space
Just being
to figure
gracious.
themselves out. Yeah, being gracious. There you go. That's the best word.
Yeah, just being gracious.
Being gracious to people.
Yes.
You know, there are times when someone can disappear because they're going through stuff.
Yeah.
And like, you don't have to be like, hey, you stop calling me. Hey, yeah. Like, give them the space.
Yeah.
And when they're ready, they'll come back and you pick up where you left off. And it doesn't have to be a thing.
I think for me, what has really helped me, especially in the area of offense, not being offended by friends, is giving people benefit of doubt. Like, I give you the longest rope. You can never get to the end of it. Right? Like, if you disappear, for instance, like before I start to think, oh, it's because she doesn't like me or she doesn't want to talk to me anymore, I have thought about what could be wrong with her, what could be wrong.
That's good.
She might be going through something. And I think it also has to do with the heart posture that you have, right? That thing about, just the genuine care for the person. Why is it that when someone disappears, the first thing you're thinking is, how can they not talk to me for this amount of time?
As if everything's about you.
That's selfish.
Honestly.
Yes.
It's not about you.
Yes.
Like,
so I
dealing with a lot.
You have no idea. Like, you can't even know what it is. It could be anything. And they might decide to tell you or not, right? So, I mean, giving people benefit of doubt, it really helps. And they usually know. And so people like that tend to stay with you because with you there's no judgment. They can be themselves. They know they can come back as many times as possible. if they walk away, it's just yeah, I think that's what helps to build long lasting. It really does help. And then for me, my people that I've called soul sisters that have been with me for many years, one of the major things that have brought us together is really God, right? And that's where that shared value thing comes from, right? You have almost the same, not the same, perception, right? It's just like you. I can almost guess what you would think about something or a topic or, and it just helps you. It just helps you build something, right? Where that transverses any season that you are. You're just going, it's the same mindset, it's the same values, it's the same God, right? And you're just growing together. You can make mistakes, you can tell each other, you're open to tell each other, this is what I did, I'm struggling with this, that, and you know that they're going to help you or just even be there for you and not judge you. And I've also learned that
like, it's okay for some people to not be your people. Like you said, don't force it. And some people, like, you'd be like, oh, yeah, I thought, okay, sure. That's fine. That's okay. Everyone wants to belong, right? But those that are for you, you know them. You don't have to force them. You don't have
it's
to
not
push.
forced.
It's not forced. It's not like
forced.
where you have to find things in common.
Yes.
Let me give you an
Yes.
example. Like for people who have young kids,
Yes.
sometimes you foster friendship because you want your kids to get. And some of those relationships you can be like, Lord,
Yeah.
Jesus. But also like, yeah, I think it's okay to just have friendships where like it's just acquaintances.
I feel like you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's not all the relationships that you click from the get-go, but most of them you click and you know that, yeah, this is going to last, right?
So, jealousy.
Right.
Have you ever, like, do you find that it's a common thing in like adult friendships? Is it common?
Yeah, adult friendships, yes. And I think social media doesn't help, because...
But also people like attract, I don't know why people post everything about everything. Because I think that some of that is just creating jealousy in people.
So is it the person who wants to show off that is at fault, or the person who is feeling jealous about the show off that is at fault?
Yeah, because like jealousy is just that feeling where you're like, okay, there's someone who differentiated envy and jealousy.
Okay.
Envy is wanting what someone has for yourself. And jealousy is just not... I forgot. But there was like a difference where envy... jealousy was like not always bad.
Oh, okay.
But like envy was like... is like harmful. Where you're envious of someone. You want their life. You want what they want. And then like jealousy is like sometimes you're just like, but you know how you can be jealous of your friend? You're like, I'm so jealous. But like it doesn't mean like
in a good way.
In a good way. Like when you tell me you're going for a week traveling to or when I'm going to the Indian Ocean.
Oh my God. Hey, I'm jealous.
Like, I'm so jealous, you know.
Yeah. But I don't think that's jealousy, by the way.
That's not jealousy.
I think that's just there. It's like you would wish that you had that. Like you wish you desire that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think jealousy has the connotation of you're feeling bad that person has it. Right?
So you're not happy for them.
Exactly.
Because like the other one is like, I'm happy for you.
I'm happy for it, but exactly. I want it, but I'm happy for you.
But I'm happy for you.
Exactly. So I don't know. I haven't heard of jealousy being good. I think we just throw the word around.
God is a jealous God, bro.
Oh, nice one.
He's a jealous God.
In that sense.
Yes.
Wow.
But
yeah.
Because like being jealous, they could be jealous over like if you have something that is precious to you, like I don't want it to be misused.
Is that not a different context? Is that the same context?
Like God being a jealous God, it communicates that God doesn't want to share His glory. Yeah. He doesn't want to share us.
He doesn't want to share.
Us.
Yeah, that's what that means.
Yeah, and that's like jealousy, which is even a parent can be jealous for their child, but like not jealous of. You know?
Yeah.
You can be jealous for someone, but not jealous
it's
of
different. Yeah.
that person, because then you're jealous of them, then you kind of can evolve into envy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And how do you guard your heart against that?
So, like I said, first thing is social media, right? So the reason why I said social media doesn't help is because social media empowers people to show off.
I even drink my tea.
It does. I mean, LinkedIn, for instance. Oh.
Bro, LinkedIn is like for serious people, though.
I mean, so
people show up on LinkedIn.
Oh yes, absolutely. Like,
what are they showing off?
So for instance,
starting a new job. Sounds very informational.
It's not just the jobs that is announced on LinkedIn. For instance, you go to an event, which maybe a random event, to be honest, but because there's that feeling of importance that people want to have on LinkedIn. So you come and say, I'm happy to announce that I did this and this and this, and then you add so many things to the event that wasn't there, Another thing that happens on LinkedIn is awards, right? People actually pay to be awarded. Yeah, that's how important they want to feel. And then they show
can
it.
You give me the phone number of that person?
Oh,
I need an award.
There are people we call awardpreneurs, right? Because They're in the business of giving you awards, but you pay for the awards.
I need an award, people.
Yeah, yes.
Someone give me an award.
Absolutely. And so those people pay and then they want to put it on LinkedIn like, oh, I was awarded this, that, that. That's what I mean by if you're not careful, it empowers you.
You should be
to
asking,
want
by
to-
who? Who cares? Oh, I want to
You know. And so there's the side of the guys that show off
Yeah,
and you that need to guard your heart, right?
against that.
Against that. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I think you're right. One of the things I learned though about jealousy is sometimes jealousy happens when you withhold celebration of someone and you just
How do you
withhold
mean?
it. Like, for example, you go and do like a second master's and I'm just like secretly like, wow, she is so amazing.
Yeah.
She just got 2 masters, started her own business. Like, look at her. And I'm like, instead of telling you how proud I am of you,
Yeah.
and just release that praise, I withhold it. And it evolves into envy and whatnot. Because like, I think sometimes, I remember like this one time, it was like a revelation that came to me. There was a friend of mine who we were at an event.
Yeah.
And we were both singers and artists. But honestly, people were crazy about her.
Okay.
Not me.
That's a good example.
Yo, we were at this place, and I was like, bro, like,
I'm
somebody-
here.
I'm here. But everyone was excited about her.
Right.
That was hard. Because,
Right.
like, it kind of felt like I was, like, I don't know, in the background somewhere.
Right.
And we were both artists invited to this event. So then I remember just hearing this voice in my heart saying, what if you just told her how
Yeah.
amazing she is? Try it. And you
Okay.
will fight those emotions to beat her down, or not to beat her. I didn't really feel like beating her down. I really was envious, but I overcame by like celebrating her. So I literally told her, I said, "You're so amazing. Like, I'm so excited about all that God is doing in your life, and I'm inspired by you."
Wow.
And it took a lot of humility to say that, but it set me free from feeling like I have to be, like, I could just be happy for her and that's it. And maybe today I'm in the background, that's okay. You know?
right.
So I feel like sometimes we just don't praise people.
Sounds like one of the ways to overcome
Yeah.
jealousy.
Yeah.
Right. I think another thing would be just knowing who you are. Right? Because
Yeah.
jealousy really comes from comparison.
Yes,
Right?
yeah.
Especially between friends. If
Yeah.
you've been close for so long, or siblings, right?
Uh-huh.
Siblings. Especially if you grew up in an environment that enables jealousy where
And
your
rivalry.
yeah.
If your parents compared you a lot.
Yes, and they had favorites, like look at your
Yeah.
brother all the time,
Yeah.
you know. And the reason why you feel jealous is because you don't know who you are, what you carry, what, you know, your own uniqueness is, right? It makes you now compare, okay, so she's getting 2 masters. And I have a BSc alone. Why? But you are not, and you know that's probably not the way you're supposed to go at all.
Yeah.
You're not an academia or something,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So I
And
think
it's just, it's sad, but it's a reality. Comparing
Yeah.
your life with your
Yes,
peers
yes,
is something that you really have to overcome, because we all have different paths. Like, we all finish high school
we
together,
do.
and then we go these different ways. Some people have, they have means, so they go straight to university and they get a job right after. Some of us have to hustle our way through life. Hustle away, kind of do
Right.
evening studies, then work during the day, then pause for 1 semester, go back after.
Right.
It's just kind of like, it's not that straightforward. But at the end of the day, knowing that though we have different paths in life, like, we don't have to compare it. We
When
don't
it's not competition.
there's no competition, because
Yeah.
we also don't have the same finish line.
No, we don't.
We don't have
Yeah.
the same purpose. We don't have the same resources at hand also. And so
Absolutely.
we need to just be okay with where we're at,
Yeah.
as long as we're doing our best and we're not, being lazy.
Yeah.
And finally, on our topics today, feminism.
Huge one.
Yes.
Huge one.
How do you
Huge
feel
one.
about feminism?
Mixed feelings.
Mixed feelings?
Mixed feelings.
Me too.
Let's go there.
Yes.
Let's go there. I mean, I feel like feminism has been hijacked.
Exactly the right word. Like, wait. What is this? What are we doing exactly? I missed something in the middle there.
What? Where?
Yeah, because you started off with like girl power. Yes.
Then all of a sudden it's
empowerment.
like kill the men. Make sure they don't exist.
How did we move from girl power to It's true.
I mean, from going to we're talking about female the mutilation and all of that to making sure little girls don't get married, That's why I feel like feminism should be,
like actual
and then now all of a sudden you're like, the guys are evil, the guys are bad, the guys should not
kill the patriarchy.
Kill them.
Like my dad is patriarchy. I don't want my dad. I like my dad.
I do.
Yeah.
Right.
So
right.
like as a Christian girl, how should we what like the two kinds? I feel like it's two
kinds of
things.
feminism now.
No,
yes.
yeah, because like really, someone once said everyone is a feminist. Why? Because everybody should care about the welfare of women.
Yes.
Because when women advance, all of us advance, right? When women, by the way, if you found like a good leader in an organization who's a woman, because they can also be on the other end. Like if you have a very bad leader who's anyway, but if it's a good woman, that organization really advances a lot, in so many ways.
Yeah.
So everyone benefits when women benefit, right?
Yeah.
But at some point, how do we differentiate the two? How do we recognize when it's starting to
become toxic?
Yes, toxic feminism, yes.
Toxic feminism.
Because just like toxic masculinity.
Yes. It's also there, right? Right. I think, again, selfishness.
Yeah.
Right. So it's now going beyond wanting to see good happen to a woman to greed and wanting to overpower,
and even
demonize,
yes,
right, the men. I think it's just, again, why I would say hijacked is you can tell that there's a lot of demonic undertone. There's a lot of influence there, and it looks like there's an agenda to wipe out, the men. So, for instance, people say if a man is being accused of, like in a workplace, for instance, if a man is being accused of like sexual harassment, he is 100% guilty.
Okay.
But if the woman is being accused, you should look into it because it's probably not true.
It's probably
she didn't really mean it like that. But the
man, there's even husband battering now.
Yes,
wives who beat up.
Yes,
men.
They take advantage of the toxic feminism thing. And then so it's and I think for us children of God, we have to always check, right? Check with the scripture. We have to judge some of these things that we see. It looks like human rights, like, if you're a woman and you're sitting on a board of something, make sure a man doesn't become a leader there. It looks like, men have controlled us for so long, so now it's time to revenge. That's the undertone of some of those things, but at the surface it looks like it's good. So as children of God, we have to judge those thoughts by the word of God. Yeah. Right.
I can also add, like, one, there's an attack on womanhood through feminism, where like being a mother.
This is a touchy topic.
Like being a mother, being a
how about the S word? Submission. You didn't know submission was the S word.
Submission, that one has always been a problem since the Garden of Eden. But I think there's just like it's no longer cool to be a woman who wants to stay home and take care of the kids. Yeah. And yet there are many people who are educated, they have good careers, and then they choose to leave them just to be like, man, I just feel like I can't do it all. And this whole feminist thing they sell us, where you have to do it all, it's like, no, I'm actually not coping. I'm not doing it all. I'm really not. I want to do one thing well, and I want it to be the kids for now, right? But like somehow it can be looked down upon, as not a good thing.
I think there are two sides to that.
Yeah.
Women who have genuinely been oppressed in marriage, that's the story they come out to tell.
Yeah.
Right. And they're the loudest. Again,
Ballerina
on social
farm.
media.
Did you hear about Ballerina Farm?
No, I don't
There's
think
a
so.
whole thing on social media. There's this girl, those people who have their lives on social media. One of the ladies who's a child wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was like a whole controversy around some journalists went to interview her and then interviewed her and asked about her dreams when she was a kid. She said she wanted to be a ballerina. And then now she's like a stay-at-home mom. She's like 8 kids at a farm and whatnot. And then somehow the journalist, because I don't know what she noticed between the husband and her, the dynamic, she made up this whole story that the husband is the one who's like keeping her trapped.
He doesn't want her to do anything.
Yes, like he's the one who forced her to live her dream so that he can have his life. She's like takes care of him. And it was a whole thing, and she had to come out and say that's not true.
Right.
That's not true.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So like.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be.
Yeah.
Perceived. Like feminism is like it's like one thing. Like you're at the top of the success ladder. You are like this, and this is the other thing too. Is like some people who buy into that story can also become very masculine. They take on masculine features and leadership. Yeah, they want to be like. Those, they want to be
independent. I don't need anyone.
No, independence is fine, but like it's like kind of like leading like in a strong way.
Okay.
Like women, we are leaders, but our leadership is a bit different from men. But then because the workplace and the world is like meant for people who are like
so they try to copy.
They try to copy that. Yeah, and then and it's kind of like that's like a powerful. Strong black.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think it's just important to realize that God made us different for a reason, and there's no one size fits all. There's no one box for what it means to be feminine, but at the same time, there are just those things that you can't change about who we are.
Yeah,
that should be celebrated.
It should be celebrated. Yeah. I mean, why being a stay-home mom is a full-time job.
It
should be celebrated, right? Yeah, absolutely.
And then also, I mean, there are some things men do that are just wrong.
Yeah, so that's the other side.
Gender-based violence, for example.
Yes, so those that have been victims of that, they advocate for, women to. So they'll tell you when you're going into marriage, make sure you don't tell your husband about the money that you have.
Yes,
make sure you're building some kind of wealth somewhere because he's definitely going to come out and do this, do that. And there's so many narratives like that online. So women start to think, you're going to marriage and you're not trying to partner with anybody.
Yeah.
You're trying to just, look out for yourself.
Look out for yourself.
Right. And I think, I won't fault them because they probably, but it's not a one-size-fits-all. There's the other side of, you won't have any problem submitting to a man that, is genuinely a child of God, someone that has, like I always say, has sense.
Yeah. And And also, like, even coming to, like, submission, like you said, it takes someone who's confident and secure in who they are to be able to submit, because being under someone doesn't make you less.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not
or agreeing. Like sometimes I can agree with my husband and just submit in a particular area, even though I don't completely agree.
Yes.
But I know it doesn't make me less. Doesn't mean that if my idea is not taken, then I'm like,
so
I don't have a voice.
The problem is saying submission is the same thing as maybe subjecting to some kind of bad treatment.
True.
Right? Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and you submit to each other. Actually, sometimes
the scripture says submit one to another,
and then the
right?
other time is the other person who's it's not really like you're the wife and you always have to submit. Even he has to submit sometimes. Be like, okay, we're gonna do what you want right now. I'll submit to this particular idea, and so like I think that feminism as it, I don't know. I think now it's just every time you hear feminism, everybody hears all these things,
Yeah. Men are bad.
But all of us, if feminism is about supporting women, celebrating,
See, I feel like there's still a lot of work that needs to be done.
Yeah, of course.
When it comes, like the actual feminism, there's still 10 years old getting married, in the northern part of Nigeria.
The other Olympian lady who was burnt by
Yes, exactly.
man,
Those things are happening. Like, channel your energy there. That is actual feminism,
Yeah.
Not the...
And then the other thing, before I forget, like, the constantly being offended by anything that remotely sounds sexist.
What is even sexist? Now everything is sexist.
That's the thing. Everything can be sexist.
Everything has
What do
tendency
you
to be
mean?
sexist.
What does he mean? You say, hey, I'm like, hey, calm down. You can't be offended by everything.
Yes.
There are some things that are, people need to know, like, oh yeah, that doesn't sound nice. That's not nice to say, but like, not everything is like, most of the time, guys don't even know. They don't even mean what you think they mean. I think we overthink everything.
We do. Definitely we do.
And we're not saying it's okay, but it's like, give them a benefit of a doubt. And maybe like, did you mean that?
Yes.
Because I think...
I think media has a strong place, part to play in this thing. Because if you haven't heard...
Everyone is angry.
Do you know?
Why are people so angry?
You can't blame them. There's inflation. There's all of that. People are going through it, and they go on social media to vent. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think social media plays a big role because, especially influencers, right? You might not have viewed, a guy saying a certain thing that way, but the minute you hear someone say it, one of your influencers and says, oh, if a guy says this, that means this is what he means, and he's trying to be sexist. And so from there, when you hear that, the next person to say that thing, you're like, you're being sexist, and it's just the culture shift. It just changes everything, right? That's why I think we should be careful. Our minds.
So I think this is a good time to close our conversation
off topic.
And it was like, people should know, it was not scripted. We had ideas of things we wanted to talk about, and that's why we called it off topic, because we don't want to be but I hope it was encouraging to you. So if you haven't yet already subscribe to HM Shima TV, because we want to be able to have more conversations that are uplifting and that are encouraging all of us to live out our faith and to live an impactful life.
Absolutely.
This is it, and this was Maya.
Anu.
God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.